Hello, welcome. If you're watching this video, it means you rented with us. This is the 2022 Thor Vegas 24.3. A few things I'd like to mention. Outside, you just have a couple storage compartments. Very convenient to open for any additional things you want to bring. You have the electrical socket out here if you want to plug anything up. Also the outside propane hookup. If you wanted to rent like our Blackstone, or you wanted to bring a grill with you. Super easy and convenient. Additional storage. We have some chairs that come with the vehicle. There's be 2 adult chairs and 2 kid chairs. If you don't want to bring them, we can always remove them for more additional storage for you. There's going to be some in the front as well. So those are some of the compartments that are on this side of the vehicle. We're going to show you some more on the opposite side. Okay guys, on this side we have our secondary compartments. We try to keep everything kind of in order and make it as simple and easy for you. We have the dirty water hoses, which is known as the black water hose. We keep it on this side separate from everything else. Try to keep everything organized. You have fresh water hose, your electrical wire to hook up to the campground. And then we have some additional accessories in here. If you move back over here, you have the outdoor shower. This is where you're gonna hook up your water hose for your water tank. If you're going off grid and you wanna go camping in the woods, not at a campground, this is where you're gonna fill up the fresh water. If you go to a campground, you're gonna hook up your water hose here, and this is gonna be the pressurized water that's connected to the campground. That's gonna allow you to have your water on the inside of the vehicle, okay? In the back over here is where you're gonna hook up the electrical hookup for the campground. And this is going to control the whole house of the RV. On the outside, this is where you're going to do the black water flush and the gray water flush. It's going to be located in this compartment. And I'll walk you through exactly how to hook the hose up and how to flush everything. All right, so someone do a quick demonstration on how to drain the black and gray water tanks. Ladies, this is where you're going to want your husband or your boyfriend to do the dirty work. We provide gloves for you located inside the vehicle. So this is going to be the black water hose. It's very simple. It takes just a few minutes. You just want to use the female and the male connectors. Get them secured nice and tight. You're going to bring the hose right underneath the vehicle. There's a little cap on the inside. You're going to bring it right from the bottom, right through the hole, and let gravity kind of do its work. We'll have a close-up of this so you can kind of see what it looks like. You're also going to hook this up, make sure it's nice and secure. This is what's going to go into the ground at the campsite. When you're screwing this in, just make sure it's screwed in properly. You don't want any accidents outside. This is going to go directly inside the drain. When you drain the black water tank, there's 2 levers on the inside. One is black. You're gonna pull that. That's gonna release all the black water. Once that's done draining, you're gonna hook up the water hose. And there's a fresh water sprayer in there that's gonna clear out all the excess debris on the inside of the tank. Once that's nice and clear, you can go ahead and turn that off, push the black lever in, and you're gonna release the gray lever for the gray water. And that will clear out any more excess water debris inside the tank, inside the hose. Okay, so right here, this is the black lever that I was talking about. You're gonna pull this black lever. This is gonna release the black water. Once you're done pulling that, you're gonna push it in. Always do the gray water second. Just gonna pull this gray lever, and that will release the gray water. Push it back in, and you're just gonna disconnect this, bring it back through the bottom. Put the lid back on, and you're good to go. This is the water heater located on the outside. If you're at a campground, very important, the switch needs to be on the on position to run the hot water. If you're in the woods, you're not at a campsite, you're running off propane, it needs to be in the off position. This is the disconnect for the electricity. You just want to keep this to the right and in the on position. This controls all the electricity on the inside of the house of the RV. Okay, on this panel here, this panel controls everything in the RV, from all the lights to turn everything on from here. This is where you're gonna see where the water levels are. If they need to be emptied, all the gauges, you can control the water pump, the climate for the rear of the vehicle. You're also going to be able to control all the slide out features that we have, the awnings, the stabilizers that are located in the rear of the vehicle, the bunk lift. You can control the lights on the outside of the compartments, the storage compartments, your tire pressure. Everything is literally controlled from this device here. You can control all the lights. You want to dim them a little bit more, you can do that. Tire pressure, temperature, all your battery, your propane tank to see if it's full. Okay. Everything's going to be controlled from this device here. Now, it's very important when you want to use the slide outs or the bunk, there's two things that need to happen. For the awnings, the stabilizers, and the bunk lift, the emergency brake needs to be pushed in and the ignition has to be off. For the slide out, the emergency brake has to be pushed in and the ignition has to be on. They will not work if they're not in that order, okay? So for the awnings, the stabilizers, and the bunk lift, the emergency brake has to be pushed in and the ignition off. For the slide out, the emergency brake has to be pushed in and the ignition has to be on. Okay, very, very important for the top bunk. Prior to bringing it down, there are two safety features. I already have them pulled out. They're two pins. They're just safety features so they can't come down while you're driving. You want to make sure these are reclined so the top bunk does not smash them, and I'll pull them down and show you a little example on how to do it. Everything's located on the panel here. So you just want to make sure that these are pulled back because you don't want to smash the chairs and damage them. And obviously stop just above the chairs. There you go. The ladder is going to be located right at the bottom. And you're basically just going to hook up the ladder right into these little... All right, for the slide out, as I said earlier, just a little refresher. The ignition has to be on, the emergency brake has to be pushed in order for the slide out to go, and you're going to control that from this panel here. Give you a little example of how it works. Push it out. Fold down the bed, really simple. Just remove these pillows. There's a little lever up here on the top. Just pull that down, pull this out. There goes your bed here. When you bring the slide out back in, just a few things to note. Just make sure that this captain's chair, driver's side, is pushed up, because what happens, and it can potentially damage the chair, is if it's in a reclined position, when you slide this back in, it'll push this chair and it could potentially damage the chair. So a few things to note when you're bringing the slide back in. Captain's chair back up to a seating position. Also, when you're bringing this down, make sure these are reclined so they're not damaged from the bunk coming down. Just two quick things to note. So super easy to push back. Just bringing this back up, pushing this down, and tucking this bed back into the lock position. Also, there is a storage compartment where we keep all the vacuum, broom, mops, accessories for the vehicle, table, ladder is all going to be located here underneath the sofa. Go ahead and put these back and you're ready to rock and roll. Okay, this dinette here also turns into an additional single person bed. It's pretty easy to get off. Just pull it up here. I'm gonna flip it upside down, pull this out, set this off to the side here. this in the center. Back up here. And there you have it.